Hello, big, big world. Here I am making these health videos again. So I have a brain tumor. It's cancerous. It's big. It looked really big in the scan, but they think that they're going to be able to remove it, and then they're going to be aggressive about preventing it coming back using radiation and chemotherapy. It's going to be a pill chemotherapy, which is cool. So a couple of things that I want to talk about in this video. The first is that not knowing was so hard for 2 weeks. It was 13 days from the time I found out that I had the brain tumor to when I met with the brain tumor specialist. And that was such a long 13 days. And the reality is that this is good news. You know, I was really, really grateful for a friend of mine that whenever I told him what the news was, you know, that it's cancerous, they're going to do surgery. I'm going to do radiation and chemo for 6 weeks after I get done, and then maintenance chemo for a year. He was like, this is great news. This is great news. Congratulations. And I was like, you know, you're right. It is great news. So it was really tough to not know and just wait, you know, and just like waiting to see this doctor. Anyway. So that was the first thing. The other thing I wanted to talk about, which I think is a pretty important information, this, like, in my case, I had the seizure. There was a blockage, or like a narrowing of the, I don't know the name of it, something sinus that goes all the way from here to here, and it just carries blood. It doesn't have anything to do with your nose sinuses. So there was a narrowing. And so that's what made them think that there was a blood clot that had caused a blockage, which had caused a bleed. So in the MRI, the initial scan, there was a mass right here, which they thought was blood. They thought it was blood clots, and that had caused a bleed. So that was what they thought the mass was that came up in the scan, because it's just a different color. Like, that's all it is. It's just a spot that's a different color. It doesn't say whether it's blood or cancer. So for 3 months, they were treating blood clots and a stroke. That's what they thought I had. They thought that this mass was a bleed. So anyway, they were treating blood clots using blood thinners. All of my blood work came back completely normal, like well within the normal range. None of them were even like close. So they had me taking these very expensive blood thinners. Luckily, I already paid my max out of pocket for the year on the blood thinner, on the health insurance. So they had me taking these blood thinners that would be $750 a month if I hadn't already reached my max out of pocket for the year. And the doctor was like, well, you're tolerating them, so just keep taking them forever for the rest of your life. And even though we don't know what it's working on, you know, the blood clots are gone. The CT scan, which I believe measures or scans or maps out your veins and arteries, I think. Please let me know if I'm wrong about that. And so since they were gone, since there were no blood clots, but there were no blood clots to begin with, but since the blood clots were gone in the CT scan, they thought that the blood thinners were doing something. So they were just going to have me keep taking the blood thinners. So then they measured the mass again 3 months later, and it hadn't gotten any smaller. So they were like, it's probably not a mass. I mean, it's probably not blood. It probably wasn't a stroke. So then they sent me to the brain tumor specialist at the university. So now I'm having brain surgery in a couple weeks. So I'd like to keep these videos under 5 minutes long, and I see that I'm getting close to the 5 minutes, so I'm going to cut that off here today. But I guess it's always good to get a second opinion, regardless of how many doctors are already on your team. I had an oncologist, a neurologist, a neurosurgeon, a hematologist, and my primary care doctor. Getting a second opinion from all those people would have been ridiculous, but maybe tomorrow I'll talk about the challenges I've been having with insurance, But because I've learned a lot, and if somebody could learn from the experience, I mean, I put in 5 hours today, but I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I don't need to talk about that today. Today, good news, getting this stuff taken care of. They're treating the right thing, so take care, everybody.